So programs are where all of your problems are. Programs are those things that repeat, the patterns that you don't know how to break, the cycles that keep popping up over and over. Those are programs, and we're all running programs. So this tool is designed to help you understand what programs are, what creates programs, and how to spot programs. From 0 to 7, your brain operates in theta state, which is hypnotized. It's right between awake and asleep. The whole first 7 years, that's how your brain operates. Your consciousness is literally being bypassed. So your awareness is not there to argue anything. So everything is just taken at the subconscious level as truth. And you accept it as truth as well. Because just because your consciousness is not completely online, you're still there. You remember things from 0 to 7 years old, but you don't remember everything. Like, how much do you remember from being 1 years old or 2 years old? This is when your base program is going. You don't remember hardly any of that stuff. And this is very important to understand, which, the level of programming, how often you're seeing your programs. After the age of 7, you're running programs like roughly 95% of the time. They're always happening. Where programs are played anytime the subconscious mind gets busy or gets distracted doing something else. When it's thinking, programs start getting run on autopilot. And that's why it's like 95% of the time, because your awareness is only 5% of your mind. The other 95% of your mind is subconscious. It's doing all of the things that you don't have to think about doing. And the conscious mind can jump back and forth really fast, but it can't truly multitask. And that's why it's easy for it to get distracted. And that's why programs are constantly running. And the only time that programs really are not happening is when you're consciously aware, when you're actually taking control, when the awareness, the conscious mind takes control and is thinking about what it wants. It's actually thinking clearly about what it wants. It's not just running a program. And all the rest of the time, when the conscious awareness, when your mind is busy doing something else, anytime it's distracted, programs are running in its place. That's what the subconscious is there to do. It's there. It's like an autopilot program, right? It's there to reinforce anything that you think about a bunch emotionally. And it's there to do, like things like driving. When you first started driving, completely immersed in driving. But as you got better and better at driving, the more you practiced it, it became a program, your subconscious. Now, when you're thinking, you're 5% of your mind, it can only do one thing at a time. It can jump back and forth real fast, but it can't actually hold two thoughts at one time. So when you are driving down the road and you start thinking about something, when you're thinking, you're not driving. It's your subconscious that's doing the driving. What are programs? Remember, 5% of your mind is conscious awareness, and it can only do one thing at a time. The other 95% of your mind is subconscious, and it has lots of jobs. One of those jobs is keeping track of the things that you do the most often and creating programs to support those things, so when you're doing them, you don't have to think about them with your conscious awareness. You could be doing the task and thinking about something else at the same time. It's your autopilot system. Walking, program. Talking, that's a program. You're not consciously thinking about how to talk. You're consciously thinking about what you're saying, but how to talk comes naturally. That comes at a subconscious level. It's a program, something you've learned. It's been reinforced over and over and over again. What about not believing you're good enough? Also a program. What about saying yes when you want to say no? Program. Here's the thing. Programs aren't just habits. They're also your belief system. Your belief system is made up of programs. 90% of your reality is based on your belief. All of your emotional responses, the way you act and react, those were all programmed by other people before you even had a choice in the matter. Here's some things that you probably didn't realize were programs. Who taught you what love was supposed to feel like? Who taught you how people should treat you? Who made you believe it was even possible for this life? The answers to those questions, you didn't create most of those answers. Somebody else created those answers for you. You inherited those answers. Your idea about money, relationships, your own self-worth, your future, your safety, none of those were really your ideas. Those were all programmed into you. Okay, so how are programs created? They're created by your repetitive experiences and by your memories. Your subconscious records every moment of your life as a snapshot, and your snapshots contain everything that you know at the moment that snapshot was taken and whatever emotional signature that was felt by you at the time the snapshot was taken. At night, your subconscious scans all of your snapshots and groups them together in alignment files with other snapshots that have similar emotional signatures. Once that alignment file has enough snapshots collected in it, the subconscious will create a program to reinforce whatever the emotional signature was in that alignment file. It's important to note that when you think back to an event that you're going to create the same emotional signature as the event itself. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between when you're thinking about something that happened and when something is actually happening. So the subconscious takes a snapshot of the event as if it was actually happening and whatever emotional signature you create towards that event. And then the snapshots will get put together with other aligned snapshots that have similar emotional signatures on them. To sum it all up, whatever you experience and whatever you think about the most is what your programs are made up of. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, the subconscious doesn't care. It's going to create programs to reinforce the emotions that show up in your snapshots the most often. We all have programs or beliefs about how we feel about ourselves. This is how those programs or those beliefs come out through other people. If when you were a little kid, somebody made you feel unlovable all the time, then you would eventually create a program that would run in the background on autopilot that made you feel unlovable. When you've got a belief that's running in the background that you're unlovable, the people in your reality will reflect that belief back to you. So people in your reality will make you feel unlovable. The more deeply ingrained that a program is the more often that people will make you feel unlovable. So the more often that you're feeling a repeating emotional signature, that's the more deeply ingrained that your program is. Your beliefs about yourself, the programs that you run about yourself, they always show up in your reality through other people. They're always going to be reflected back to you through other people. When you hear people talk about mirrors and reflections, this is what they're talking about. Pay attention and watch close. You'll see people that are in your life, people in your reality, they're always reflecting back to you what you're either in agreement with or in conflict with internally, but it's always part of your internal dialogue, things that you're thinking about, things that you've been talking about. Programs run all the time. Anytime your conscious mind is thinking about something besides the task that you're actually doing, your subconscious is running a program for that task. Here's how to use the tool. Pick a program. So pick any emotional signature that keeps showing up over and over again. It doesn't matter if it's one person, if it's multiple people making you feel the emotional signature. Just pick any emotional signature that keeps showing up over and over again. How often is this emotional signature showing up? Is it showing up every month? Is it showing up every couple weeks? Is it showing up every day? Is it showing up multiple times a day? The more times you see an emotional signature showing up is the more deeply ingrained the program is. Now go back into your memory banks and find the earliest memory of somebody making you feel that same emotional signature, somebody making you feel that way. How many more memories can you find that have the same emotional signature? Your program is made up of memories that have similar emotional signatures. So all the memories that you're coming up with, those memories are part of what created the program to begin with. Now, if you want to learn how to deconstruct those programs with love, head over to the realignment process. I'll show you how that works. If you've been running on autopilot and you haven't challenged your own belief systems in yourself, the way you feel about yourself, then you just feel the way the way that people programmed you to feel about yourself. It's not necessarily how you actually feel about yourself. What's important to note is that your programs were designed to create an emotional response. If you continue to have the same emotional responses and think the same things when these programs play, they're just going to keep repeating over and over and over. But no matter what, when you're seeing different people in your reality showing you the same patterns and creating the same emotional responses in you, these are a program, and there's no coincidence in that. They're just programs. So remember that your programs are made up of your memories. They're your snapshots, all of your present moments that are put together. So if you want to know everything that is in a program, you need to track down all of your memories that have a similar emotional signature to them. And everything that's got a similar emotional signature or that creates a similar emotional signature from you, that's part of the same program. Now, if you want to learn the process for breaking down a program, jump into the realignment process and I'll show you what that looks like.